Hello, everybody. This is Heshy from the Just Enough Heshy Show. Welcome back to another one of my last show of the season, and I just want to wish all of you goodbye. And I wanted to thank you all for listening to me, and I hope you're going to enjoy the show because I want to talk about some issues that will bother me and things that you should all think of when I leave. Serious issues that when the next year comes, besides elections, about helping other people, about doing good, that maybe you can help people change the lives of other people. Again, my co-host, of course, is late, but you can listen to me and you can call into the show at 718-303-9090, or you can watch me live on YouTube or Facebook. We're on there by typing in Just Enough Heshy, or you could, what else can you do? You could tweet me, and you can you can text me at 718-288-7844 and ask for any questions. Basically, guys, my show tonight is going to be more on a serious matter that I wanted to. I'm going to, of course, tell my joke and quote of the day, but my matter is going to be about a lot of things that we don't take serious, or we just sometimes just brush off, thinking that it's something that, hey, it happened to somebody else, but not to me. Anyways, let me start my show with a couple of commercials for now. And I'm going to do, of course, my favorite goodbye to Chamula Jewelers, a wonderful place. They're located at 944 Kings Highway, 718-336-1980, 718-336-1980, located again at 944 Kings Highway. They are a family-owned business for over 40 years. They specialize in diamond engagement rings, eternity bands, and diamond jewelry, or just bring in your own jewelry to redesign and freshen up for a new look. Chamula Jewelers. And now nobody's here to help me. We've got the sparkle for you. Anyways, you can visit them at 944 Kings Highway, 718-336-1980. And then you have TEEstyles.com, at TEESTYLES.com. Tehila Tishler, my favorite daughter-in-law, one of them, 718-675-6842, 718-675-6842. She does wigs, hairs, makeup, helps you with planning helps you with events to make sure you look pretty. And of course, our beautiful saying first, she brings out the beauty in you. Again, Tehila Tishler, TEETEESTYLES.com. Take a look at her website or what she does, 718-675-6842. And just because I'm going to be going off there, it doesn't mean you can't come visit me in my offices and come look for help like I've helped everybody. We help people who need jobs, people who have prison. That's community stuff. We do private stuff. But then again, I help people that are in trouble with their buildings and homes all day long, called Green Line Building Solutions. We help you with plans and permits. We help you with stop work orders and vacate orders and inspections. We help you with code compliance, sign-offs. We help you with banks that are giving you problems, so you need to get rid of your violations. So we help you with ECB violations, DOB, FDNY, and DP. We help you make settlements when you owe the city money with the Department of Finance. We do criminal tickets. And we even help you with evictions. We help you get your gas turned back on. We're located at 5318 16th Avenue, 718-871-0382, located on the corner of 16th Avenue and 54th Street. Again, 5318 16th Avenue. You can call for a special appointment at 718-871-0382, or just pop in and say hello and we'll help you. You know, today I had a guy who had a building that he just can't get rid of. He's having a problem with the bank. He had 8 old jobs to sign off. And what we did was we showed him a system, a plan, and how we're going to get it. Another guy had a problem that he built a brand new building and the city won't let him live in it. And we're going to walk him through the system to get a C of O. So we do many different things to help you get into compliance, to lift your vacate orders, and to help you navigate the city that's constantly making the laws and regulations so hard. And the reason they're doing this, and I'm going to get this into my show, is because the government is just creating new regulations. I mean, right now, the Department of Buildings, I was talking to one of the chiefs the other day, they put a lady in charge who has no experience as an architect, no experience as an engineer, and she's now the charge of the building department. I mean, they're making new regulations. I mean, our assembly, again, changed the rent laws that people are now ready not to keep their apartments vacant. That guys like you and me, or not me, but other people who don't have places to live, they won't be able to rent apartments because these laws are so strict. They were based for the 1970s. We have to make these changes. We have to fight back, but we'll discuss that on my show. Again, 23. There's also another gentleman by the name of Wolf's Grocery, 2362 Nostrand Avenue, located on the corner of Avenue J and Nostrand Avenue from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. 718-252-1863, 718-252-1863, located on the corner of Avenue J and Nostrand Avenue. They're open and they're wonderful and they are great. And of course, we have 777 Barbershop, located at 4225 18th Avenue, 718-484-2499. And I keep forgetting each week to tell you that it's Sherman Shabbos, 718-484-2499, located on the corner of 18th Avenue and East 2nd Street, 4225 18th Avenue. Handicap accessibility, wonderful, great place, really good people. You should take a look at them. Now, for my since nobody's here, I know this week for sure nobody's gonna laugh at my joke because nobody's here, so I'm gonna start with my quote of the day. Rachel showed up just in time for my quote and joke of the day. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you.
You look so pretty, and you're late, of course, as always, but at least I have a cause. I was just telling everybody I was all alone. We were going to be very serious today. Nobody's going to laugh at my joke.
I'm already laughing.
Do you see how nice I'm dressed?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you get elected yet for city council?
This is how I'm practicing because people are telling me that I have to be polished and wear suits and ties. So this is what I'm going to have to look like. So I thought I'd practice tonight for my goodbye speech to everybody and tell everybody goodbye. So I want them to see how I look. If whoever is not on Radio Land, but on YouTube and Facebook.
You look fantastic. And like a perfect councilman, maybe even president one day. That would be awesome. You want to be the first Jewish president?
I keep going.
And did they remind you need to put suits and ties on your mouth? Because that's where the real political edges.
Usually you're never quiet when you talk to me. Now all of a sudden you're quiet. Okay, very good.
That's because I know you have so much good to say. I was waiting to hear what you have to say.
Can you hear my quote? Because this is my goodbye
Yes.
goodbye show. So I want to tell you my quote. This is a very serious quote. The quote is very simple. And I got some people today again that I'm helping out from jail, people with prison reform, people who have nowhere to stay. And this is very serious matters. Do things for people, not because who they are or what they will do in return, but because who you are.
That's amazing. My dad actually has a different quote. Don't treat people for who they are today, but treat them for who they will become. Because you never know if your next door neighbor might become the councilman or president and you might need his favor. But I have to tell you, Heshy, Big H, as you like to be called, or Your Honor, soon to be Your Honor.
By the way, I was with my kids tonight and I had my granddaughter in my hand. By the way, shout out to Mira Navas. I had my the granddaughter in my hand and by mistake, I said, "Oh, dance with your Zadie." And they were so happy. Oh, you made a mistake. You called yourself Zadie, not Big H. You know, I said, you got me. It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
No, there's no mistake. You act like the Zadie for us all. So I think that's amazing.
You see, you're a good girl. Anyways, can I tell you my joke?
I'd love to hear your joke. But before that, I'm learning from you. By the way,
go ahead.
I must be a magnet for future city council runners, at least. And I hope councilmen or councilwomen. I spent Shabbat in the city.
Yes.
And you'll love this with a woman by the name of Elizabeth Pipko. She started the new group called Jexodus. Did you hear about it?
No.
Wow. I knew you would love to hear about it. And she's going to be running for city councilwoman in a year.
Very good.
So I said, wow, it seems that wherever I go, I'm surrounded by people who want to run. This woman was actually my student in 4th grade, Park East Synagogue. I'm very proud of the education I gave her. I always told them, believe in yourself.
We're going to pick up a phone when Dimitri puts him on hold, but we're going to pick it up in a minute.
And I'm just going to tell the audience what Jexodus is about.
We'll talk about Jexodus in a minute.
In 3 seconds or less, is encouraging Jewish people to leave the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party has turned anti-Israel and anti-Jewish. And if they don't care about our vote, then we should not support them.
Well, we'll talk about that. Anyways, here's a joke about somebody that you know. You know Leah, who was with us in Israel?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Leah and me started talking about her dating again. And she told me, you know...
Leah and I. I'm going to give you English lessons.
Okay.
Do you remember my joke from last week?
Okay.
Let's remind the audience.
No, don't remind
Do you say that...
You can't repeat the same joke.
A good joke is worth repeating. Do you say the yolk of an egg is white, or do you say the yolk of an egg are white?
The yolk of an egg is blue.
Ah, perfect. You
Okay.
remembered it's yellow.
Okay.
Exactly.
Anyways, my niece Leah, we were complaining to me and you, Rachel, that she wants to get married, and she gave us a whole list of dating instructions of what kind of a guy she wants. Right. So again, I started to review with Leah. What's your list for dating? And Leah says to me, "Listen, I want you to help me find a suitable mate that's exactly like this." And she's Uncle Heshy. He needs to be good looking. I said, okay, polite, humorous, sporty, knowledgeable, good at singing. I said, so far so good, Leah. I have no problem with that. She says he's willing to accompany me a whole day during my leisure hour if I don't go out. I said, wow, Leah, are you crazy? Then he says he must be able to tell me interesting stories who with as a and have proper conversations with me. Finally, he has to be silent when I want to rest. I sat there for a moment. I said, Leah, why don't you go buy a TV?
Excellent. You know what? I actually read it, which is that's a
I
good one.
posted it today. And my favorite joke is when I took my boys fishing. You know, I took them on a fishing boat one time, and it costs money to go on a boat and you catch your own fish.
Okay.
So I took my boys.
I heard that it's a very hip thing now for people to take planes to Alaska, go fishing, buy salmon. It's cheaper to ship the salmon home and keep it in the freezer.
Anyways,
and it's real Alaskan salmon.
It's a day.
When's our trip to Alaska, Uncle H?
Okay, it's a day that you spend with the kids. So I go out with the kids and I rented a boat. Not me. You know, you go on a boat where there's like 50 other people that go on there that you pay money. And it costed me and my two boys, the 8 and 9-year-olds, each one of us $100 to go fishing for the day.
Wow.
We went out, and whatever fish you catch, you take home with you. And you know, you go to the fish store. What could a fish cost you? $15, $8, $12. You know what I mean? Nice piece of. So we went out fishing for the day, and we ended up coming back, and we caught 3 fish.
Okay.
So I was sitting there telling my little 9-year-old, have them. You know, today each fish cost me $100. So he answered me back, thank God you didn't catch more.
That's really funny, actually.
Right, it would have costed more. Anyways, that was my joke and quote of the
That's
day.
amazing. And I'd just like to make a mention and a shout out to Rabbi Beryl Raskin, who's been serving fish until his Patira, unfortunately, Memorial Weekend in Crown Heights, world renowned. Such a nice man. They said he never reminded anyone if they had a bill, and he always gave them with a big hand. I'll never forget. He always said, you taste the difference in the pot. And you know what? When I'm in my mom's house, if the fish is delicious, I said, Mom, this is from Raskin's. You taste the difference in the pot. He should have an aliyah saneshama.
Okay,
and the family should be comforted.
And you know, we also have Rabbi Fish from Shevis Achim. I mean, this man every week goes out, collects money for feeding 100 and something families. We package boxes Thursday night. On the holiday, we had to give him more money because he packaged 3 sets of boxes for the holidays.
That's amazing. And look how many good people there are amongst us that volunteer to
volunteer. That's what I want people to know. You know, you're trusting your government to do stuff for you, you know, Rachel. And here's my problem. The thing is that they lie. They create legislation that you think is going to help you, but don't. You know, right now we had a law that passed with these rent laws.
It's amazing. Thank God, Heshy, you told me about it. I'm going to be able to not have any problems anymore.
Well, I'm on the other side of you, Rachel, because
it's okay, Heshy. You know what? If you want to switch sides with me for a little bit, I'll be the homeowner, Rachel, and you'll be the renter, Rachel, and we'll see.
But Rachel, it's not the problem is being the renter, the homeowner. The problem is when the homeowner now can't raise the rent, when the homeowner now cannot maintain the building, when the homeowner now cannot pay his taxes and water, the city comes in.
Do you think that they're not looking into how much money is taken as you know, after expenses and how much they're looking into it. It's not true. It's a very good.
Rachel, interrupt me. A guy who it's not a good law. But Rachel, a guy who owns a building is allowed to make a profit. This is not communist Russia. And if he fixed up his apartment very nice and he wants to charge a higher rent, he has a right to.
That's fine.
If you want to live in a basement or a lower value apartment, you have a right to do that as well. But when somebody fixes up his place, puts money in.
So what will be now is that the renters will be able to save money, and instead of having the attitude that I won't mention anyone's names had all their life, like, let me not fix this up because I'm only a renter. The people will say, hey, I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to take care of the apartment.
But it's not
and
true.
You have better quality renters.
Rachel, there has been rent-controlled apartments for many years. People are paying still today $500, $600, $700 a month for 2, 3-bedroom apartments. You have the district leader from Brighton Beach there, Kagan. This guy is a rich man, and he still has a rent-controlled apartment. And you know what he's doing? And you know what he's doing?
So they should change and pass different laws that people who are in rent-controlled apartments have to be under a certain bracket.
But the point is, it's not even the certain bracket. The point is, these guys take advantage. There's always a way around it. Now you're talking that the landlord landlords can't afford it. The apartments get
Why?
run
What's
down.
their excuse, by the way?
Woman, hold on. The renters can't afford it. The apartments get run down. City comes in, gives you fines and violations. Sooner or later, the city takes over the building. The city is the biggest slumlord out there. The city is the worst tenant renter. The city runs the buildings bad, so then they hire receivers to run the building on the renter's money, and they can never cover it. Then the building gets lost, and they put it up for auction, and the next guy buys it. And again, he's buying it at a cheaper rate, so now he's making money. So you're screwing around with this guy. But again, sooner or later, it all catches up with the taxes and the maintenance and the repairs. And you have tenants that I've been into a building, for example, today I was in a building where a guy runs a building, is fighting the city to fix it up, to try to do the repairs. And the city is saying, you know what? You're not moving quick enough. We're moving in. He says, but you didn't let me do it. You're holding me back. You're not letting me get a permit. Well, we can get a permit. But he says, if you get a permit, that means I can't do the work. You're doing the work, and you're charging me, instead of a $10,000 job, a $100,000 job. And they said, yeah, well, you didn't move quick enough. But you don't let me move quick enough because the building department and the HPD, they're very red tape, and it takes 8-9 months. And now with the new laws, they're making it even harder to get a permit, or harder to do the work, and buildings get run out. And then when a tenant wants, like you, Rachel, not you, but you want to fight with your landlord, you don't let him fix it, or you break something.
No, I moved into a brand new renovated apartment.
But if you want, you can break an apartment. You call 311. They come running down. Like I had a tenant, couldn't do anything to me. The apartment was perfect, beautiful. What he did was he complained that the smoke detector, I swear to God, wasn't on the wall, and also he broke the handrail.
So a minute, what happens if the smoke detector is not on the wall?
A violation. And if you don't fix it in time, they can either come fix it for you, or you lose your rent or your subsidy from the government till you fix it. Now the guy is not letting you in. You go on to evict him, or if you're trying to evict him, he finds to make a violation on you. The court says, "Oh, you have violations on the property." The eviction process is over, and you don't have to pay rent. These are the little tricks that.
Why didn't you tell me all these tricks beforehand? My landlord did not put the smoke alarm on. I didn't want to call 311 on him. I still didn't, because I didn't want to be a monster, but I probably should have.
But Rachel,
and I said to him, "Listen, you need to put up a smoke alarm," and he just put it up like 7 months later.
Rachel, when somebody has an apartment or owns a home,
I could have called 311 and he wouldn't have gotten any rent. You're not my friend, Uncle
Rachel,
H.
but my point that I'm making to you is, when you live in
Do you like your new name that I made up for you? Not Uncle Heshy and not Big H, Uncle H.
But my point to
you know why? Because H is also for your honor, and I want the whole world to call you Uncle Honor.
You're not letting me talk at all tonight.
Go ahead.
My point to
you complained I was quiet before.
But my point that I'm trying to make to you, Rachel, is that people you abuse the system, and then what happens is these people who own the properties, it's like going into a grocery store or going into a restaurant. You order a $300 meal, you throw a bug in there, boom, the guy says, "Oh, there's a bug in my soup," when you know that it wasn't there, and he can't charge you for the meal. Right, Rachel?
Someone forgot to shut their phone before the show.
Right.
I want you to tell me, though, about Green Line Properties. How would they make their money if the city wouldn't give violations? Can you please give us their advertisement?
So let me explain to you something. There's so many things to legalize.
I think someone's calling into the show. Let me tell them which number to call. Can you tell it out loud?
718-303-9090 if you want to talk to us and say goodbye while Rachel shuts off her phone. 718-303-9090. But Rachel, the problem that I'm trying to explain to you is that the people are not going to be able to fix their apartments. You made legislation that didn't.
What's your solution? I think that apartments shouldn't be able to be rented before they're fixed.
There is a rent control board that does control the rent. They don't increase the rents every year. They come up with a 0 increase or a 2% increase. Now, just let me explain.
I think we should go to Pescata Carne, and let's just go on to that advertisement, because me and you are not going to see eye to eye in this until I make my settlement from Izzy Ben Shimon and I become a millionaire.
Okay, let me just explain to you something. There is a rule that if you're paying, for example, $1,000 a month rent, and you're getting or $500 a month rent, you get a 2% increase. You're only paying $10 more for the next 2 years. If you're paying $2,000 and you get a 2% increase, my point I'm trying to make to you, if I fix up the apartment and I make it look nice, when I was a tenant living in somebody's home, I kept my house spick and span clean. I go into people's houses sometimes, garbage on the floors, dirty refrigerators.
But that would be the same thing, Heshy. Believe it or not, I'm sorry that I'm interceding, but I was in a place in California, top of the line, called the Palazzo. People pay $3,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. You know, when you walked into their spa area, some of the toilets were disgusting. The place was in disarray. I was like, I can't believe that people would disrespect their own property that they live on this way. So if people are good, they're going to be good whether or not they're paying high rents or not.
Take a phone call.
All right. Which line are we on?
Line 4.
Line 4.
Hello, you're on the air with Heshy and Rachel. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, it's Yaakov from Waynesburg.
Hello, Yaakov. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, actually, there's something that I really don't understand, and somebody should make a court case out of it. When the landlord has to take rent control, he's subsidizing the rent for the tenant. Why he's being forced by the government? Why shouldn't the government make that difference up to the landlord? Why is he supposed to set the laws?
So these laws were created in 1970s when there was a housing shortage, and we needed places to live, and the rents went crazy. So they created this rent control system. Now that there's more than enough housing, you have an option to go rent a cheaper apartment, and you, by the way, this new legislation is against the constitution of free market. And what happened,
it's called the Commerce Clause.
Yaakov, you know what? I love you. You know what? You're already treating Heshy as if he's been elected to city council. Thanks for discussing it with him. He's definitely going to make a difference.
Yeah, Heshy.
Yes.
So it's called the Commerce Clause in the Constitution. It could get thrown out unless they subsidize the landlords.
I want to know which property you own. I'm coming to rent.
As a matter of fact, I've never owned the property, but I just understand it. I see that it's not fair.
That sounds amazing. We should vote for you for city council. You don't own a property and you're fighting for their rights. Unbelievable.
But you see, what he's trying to explain to you is that when our young kids go out to rent an apartment, people will rather keep the apartment vacant or use it as commercial. Sure, you know what? But I would do.
Let's find out. Time will tell.
Right, but the problem that you have is not only won't people get cheap apartments, you'll find some kind of a loophole or commercial organization and rent them the apartments, Rachel, and a guy like me or Yaakov won't be able to rent the apartment at a better rate. And you know what they're doing? Forget about whether the rules are right or wrong. They instituted this law against the government constitution because they have such good lawyers. And we told the landlords, let's now go to federal court and re-sue and try to fight the system. But again, the government just implements it, just like Cuomo says, sign it. You know, our what's his name again? State Senator, Mr. Felder, who always claims to help to defend the landlords and all the people, he voted for the law, and he swore that he was going to vote against this rent law. And we asked him, we said, Mr. Felder, why did you vote for it? He says, I don't want to be the only Democrat to look like an idiot. But that's what you did last time when it was for the schools. You looked like the only Democrat that went against everybody. This guy is a two-faced person. When they create this legislation, it's not for them. It's for them to get reelected. And my problem is, as a politician, these guys don't care about us. As a politician, you have to care about people. People come to me all the time, well, Heshy, you're running for politics. You're going to want to be reelected. I don't care about the special interest. I care about the people who are in business. I care about the little people out there. Yes, I do care about the people who can't afford rents, but I'm trying to tell them, are you taking care of your apartments? Are you maintaining it? When I was a tenant, I painted, I fixed.
I'm sorry, I beg to differ with you. First of all, young kids shouldn't be getting their own apartments. That leads to all types of addictions and loneliness, and I would much rather them live at home with their parents for a little bit longer, number one.
The government does give people who are poor money to pay regular market rate rent, and you have to make up the difference. But the point is, you have to take care of your apartments. We have to check your credit. Now, the government is saying, we don't care what you do to the apartment. Once you rent it, you're stuck with the apartment. Even if the tenant vacates the apartment, you could never raise the rent for 15 more years. I mean, you're not allowing these people to make a profit. And again, like I was telling you, you're going into a store.
Is that only with rent control?
It's all rent control, rent subsidized apartments.
Okay, so people who have their own homes or their own buildings don't have to follow these laws.
Smaller apartments won't have that issue. 2 or 3 family homes, but big deal. So now you're talking how many 2 or 3 family houses are vacant and open. We're talking about the apartment buildings that landlords run that have supers. That I took over a building as a receiver of a 6-unit building where the landlord would let it run down. He didn't have the money, or he didn't have the patience, so he was old, or he couldn't run it. We went in with the money. We fixed it up. We budgeted. We found a way to put the people's lives back together. But he was making very little money because of the taxes and the insurance. And I'm just telling you, they're crazy. They have cigarette tax, federal tax, government. I mean, just one after the next, and the guy can't break even at the end of the day. Now you're telling him he can't even raise the rents. He's going to lose his buildings. I know a guy who gave up a $5 million deposit on a building because he's scared. He knows that he's going to lose big time.
1 second. So what happened to his $5 million?
Didn't buy the building, so he lost it.
Well, he should have at least been smart and found someone who wanted to pay the difference and go into
Well,
a partner.
the problem is a lot of people are not going to be buying these apartments. But this is my point. It's not only the
Most
rent
ridiculous
control
thing I've
apartments.
ever heard. I wonder if you would ask him to give $5 million to DACA.
But again, Governor Cuomo got on his board, says, I'm going to sign anything blindly without even reading the bill, without even doing it. Again,
Yeah, that was a very ridiculous statement.
what about drugs? Now they're trying to push and legalize marijuana by craziness above and beyond, no matter what.
I know.
You think little kids, I told you I had a young man living by us right now. I have another guy in trouble that's on marijuana, another young kid in the center that tried to kill himself. Again, they're just legalizing because they're going to make $1 billion. Is $1 billion worth one life, one soul? But again, they're going
You want to hear this? I was at a meeting the other day of women, and one of the mothers came over to me. She said, "You know what CBD is?" I said, "Of course." She said, "Is it true that if you take CBD, it gets rid of all addictions?" I laughed so hard. I said, "What a great advertisement!"
The legislation they're making is to further themselves. They don't care about us. Like the government right now. This idiot Nadler. I keep making fun of him over and over again. He's going after our President Trump, who's done great for this country. He's instigating him instead of helping our president and working as a team, as bipartisan. They constantly stand in his way from immigration, whether they don't sit and talk with him. They just want to investigate him. They want to impeach him.
Right.
They want to hinder his job. Even though he's found not guilty, they find some technical thing to go after him again. I mean, they waste our money and time. Why? So he can sit in the newspapers and be the head of a chairman or a board committee and make himself look good. We have people that are trying to attack this country. Iran blowing up ships. People trying to hurt our people abroad. Instead, they're so busy that they're just trying to hurt our own president for no reason. You watch CNN, they're attacking him. You watch Fox, they're talking good about him. I mean, why are we even listening to them? Us people are stupid because we're so busy being controlled by these government agencies, being bossed around and controlled, and we are standing here like the sheep. And you know what they say? Sheep are made to be sheared, when we should be the wolves and standing up and fighting back. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Take control, go do, because these government agencies don't care about you. I was talking to an inspector the other day. He says, we're charging you anyways. We're hiring cheap. We're paying our people less, a minimum wage or a little bit more to get them looking good. But we're screwing you, and there's nobody that can stop us. Nobody. And the mayor, who's just an idiot, just keeps letting these different 312 government agencies go after.
Mayor de Blasio. Do you know that he's running for president?
I know he's going to lose,
He's
but,
for sure
but,
gonna
but
lose.
you know what he's doing? He's trying to get himself a name, so somebody who does get into the running, the big name, the guy who actually gets the nomination, will take him onto his administration or
Right.
his team, just like Governor Christie, who's that fat pig.
So when are we running for president, Heshy?
I'm just running for councilman. That's my point. So people say to me, Heshy, why are you running for councilman? I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing one at a time. I'm going to continue to do prison reform. I'm going upstate with Assemblyman Eichenstein in July 11th, and we're going to meet the prisoners, and we're going to try to change prison reform. And look at the president. How many people that he's taking out of jail? How many people with his prison reform laws are giving second chances? And now they're coming out of jail, like I spoke to somebody tonight, and I have somebody now that I helped out. When they come out, they have nowhere to go. They can't get a job because the government says, no, I won't let you get a license. No, I won't let you take this course. Even if you take the course and you get a license, nobody's going to hire you, or nobody's giving you a second chance, or there's no place for you to live because, you know why? Because we're not going to find you housing. But I watched on television the other day, they created a building just for lesbians and gays. You believe it? Just a building for lesbians and gays.
That's crazy.
I promise you. And these are the things that the government is doing. They don't care about the little people, the people who have mental problems, who have to buy medicine for $500.
I wonder what Mike Pence has to say about that.
Well, Mike Pence is a good man. He's a Jew. He's a Jewish loving person, just like Trump. They love Israel, and just because you love Israel or you love the Jews, you're automatically no good. You hate the blacks. You hate the Spanish. And the truth of the matter is, he likes the black people. He likes the Spanish people. He likes the Jewish people. President Trump has has done a wonderful job, and he's trying. And I've never seen a president from day one. Usually they let you go 100 days and they let you have, it's called the honeymoon time. From day one, they went after this guy. They've been hurting this country, and President Trump says, listen, I don't care. I don't care about any interest. I don't
Right.
care
You know
if
what
you
they call
reelect me.
2020 vision.
Okay.
Everyone will be able to
But
see
this
the truth.
guy says it the way it is. He does what he wants because he doesn't need to write a book. He's old enough that he's retired the second finishes the presidency. And these are the things, these are the kind of traits that we need in people. I want the young people to stand up and run for election. I'm going to be running for election because I don't care about it. I'm going to go to the city council and say, listen, $88 billion budget. My friend here, Mr. Yeager, who's my councilman, is running an $88 billion budget. I want to ask you a question, all of you. Has he ever run a business before? Does he know what budgets are? He sits in the city council running billions of dollar budgets, doesn't know what legislation is half the time. And if anything, he should have stopped it. You know, leasing companies have been shut down now, or being shut down, 7,000 jobs, but he's busy with his budget.
Tell us about that. How are they going to actually go ahead and shut them down? How
What
quickly
they're
will the
doing
business
is,
have to close?
they're telling him that right now you can't lease anymore without certain licenses, and you can only buy through certain dealers. It's like if you want to buy medicine, you can only go to a pharmacy. You can't just go to the guy in the corner and buy. So in this case, you can only go to a certain dealers that will give you the cars unless you become a big time dealership and put up millions of dollars. Today, anybody can become a travel agent. All you have to do is take a course, learn how to use the computer, and then sell your services. A leasing company is a service company. What he does, he says, listen, you need to get yourself a car. I know how to find different places that sell them cheaper or lease them cheaper. I'll help you with the financing, like a mortgage broker.
Right.
A mortgage broker says, listen, you can go to the bank for a mortgage.
They have someone who buys a bunch of fleets of cars and then provides
Right,
a for all of them so they get a better price.
But if you come to me and I'm a mortgage broker, I am not a bank, but I'll find the right bank and the right rate for you and get you a better rate, and I get my commission. They want to shut down leasing companies who are like mortgage brokers. All they are is brokers. No, you can't do this. You can only buy there. You can only pay this much. We're going to give you half commission. Like real estate brokers. Real estate broker could charge any commission they want. The standard rate is 6%. If he wants to charge 10 or 20%, he could. You know, I have a story. A guy was in big trouble. He had a $20 million building, and he was going to lose a lot of money if he didn't sell the building like in 10 or 12 days. So he calls up this real estate broker and he says, listen, I want to sell my building. I'm in big trouble, and I went to a whole bunch of places. I don't know what to do. The broker says, don't worry about it. I'm a pro. I'm going to help you sell it. Okay. He hangs up the phone with him. 15 minutes later, the broker calls back down. I got yourself a buyer. Exactly what you want. I'm going to get a very nice commission. I'm charging a little bit more commission than normal because I was able to move quickly. The guy was so happy because he was going to lose a lot of money. Anyways, what happens is they go to the closing. The owner goes over to the broker and says, hey, man, you only worked 15, 20 minutes on this. I don't think it's fair that you get so much money because this guy was going to get like a 6-figure commission.
Right.
He says, listen to me, boy. I've been doing this for 30 years. It
Exactly.
wasn't my
I
10
say the
minutes.
same thing.
It was my Rolodex that gave it to
100%.
my professional. So you guys don't understand experience. Brokerage was something that you
Or
couldn't do.
talent.
You know, I have people go to
There's
the
some people that are talented even without all that
I
experience.
tell a lot of my clients today, somebody called me up for a particular permit, a DOT permit. And I told him it's going to cost him $750. I said, but you don't need me because you're a homeowner. If you walk down to 16 Court Street, fill out your papers, bring your deed, you can get your own permit done right away. He says, I tried. I forgot this paper. They made me do this form. I didn't understand that. I says, that's my thing because I know what I'm doing. I do this so often. I learned how to do it correctly. So I get paid the $750. But again, you can do everything yourself. But it's time, and time is money. People don't understand that you have to do that because the red tape of this city is so ridiculous. And they get you from all sides.
Heshy, what color are you going to change the tape to when you get elected? Is it going to be blue or yellow?
What do you mean tape?
You keep on talking about the red tape. Is it going to become blue tape?
That's very funny. I'm not going to change the tape, but you're right. I'm gonna cut the red tape. There won't be any.
There'll be a ribbon cutting.
There'll be a ribbon
That'll be
cutting. You
awesome.
come to me and I get. People come to me now. I get things done. I find you places moving. I get the next day. If you come to me seriously, I start the process. It might take a month or 2 or 3 because I have to fight the system, but I put it into effect. I'm not a joker. I'm not a. A guy says to me yesterday, Heshy, I have a problem. I walked into the commissioner's office, into the chief's office, took the paper. Chief says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I tried to call you. I sent you the emails. My people are in trouble. We're here to talk to you." And I prepared all the paperwork for him, and we did a review, and he made me sit there for 2 hours, and we got it done. I'm a guy who takes action, and I want you people out there to take action, not only with the building department, not only with people's volunteer programs. Stand up. The elections are coming. Throw these idiots out who don't do nothing, because they're there for themselves. They're there for their special interests. I mean, it's not possible to put in 40 pieces of legislation in less than a week. It's not possible to do it in a year. It's not possible that the governor can go up there and say, "Listen, I want to start taxing." People are going to start paying tolls to drive through the city. Unacceptable. There's so many different ways to create revenue, and what you're doing is you're just punishing the people who are trying their best, who are trying to make it throughout the day. Well, a lot of them are just going to give up. A lot of them are going to have emotional distress. A lot of them are going to hurt themselves. A lot of young people are not going to find jobs today.
You know what? They're going to have to call Soft Fusion Inc. Can we hear about them from our advertisers?
No, not today. But my point, I'm trying.
And the other ones who are just stressed out, they're going to go to Pescado, New York, or Pescado Carne.
Where they're going to eat? What's the addresses for Pescado Carne?
We're going to go through the advertisement.
No. Let's
509 Avenue P.
Pick up a phone.
And 1776 Ocean Avenue.
Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, you're on the here with Big H and Rachel. How are you doing?
Good evening, Dr. Rochelle. How are you today?
I'm good, thank God. And I love the way you said my name. What's your name?
Peter from Manhattan.
Hello,
Hi,
Peter. How are you, my brother? How is everything?
Big H, you look pretty sharp in your suit tonight.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be. I'm going to an event tonight after the show, and plus they're telling me that I have to start wearing suits. So I'm starting to practice to, do the tie better and lose some weight. But thank you, Peter. That's nice of you.
At least
That's
we know
nice.
someone's watching.
But Peter, I want you to know before you're going to say anything, and I'm going to just say one thing to you. Our government, it's not our government. It's the people. I wish it was a government. We, the people. These guys do not care. They all only care about themselves, and they let us fall. And what's happening is that these agencies are running themselves with no oversight, and we're just getting screwed and stepped on like the police. They drive down the block, and I'm actually shivering. Peter, when a cop rings his light, you jump when you're driving your car. He's standing on a corner there, and there's no traffic. I made a video the other week, and there's no traffic, bumper to bumper, but they're giving tickets. They're looking for you to make mistakes. They're looking to get us. This is what our government has come to, is to punish, and get us instead of protect us.
Peter, tell us why you called.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Big H. They do not care about the people. But I heard the beginning. This is your last show of the season. That's going to be sad.
But I'm hoping that it's going to be like one of those stores in Manhattan that have this going out of business, everything must go sell, and then we'll be back on.
Well, I'm going. Very good, Rachel. I like you. I'm going to continue doing the YouTube and Facebook from different locations that I'll be throughout the summer, and my WhatsApp videos, the weekly WhatsApp videos. I'm posting it on my Facebook ad. But for right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to see if I can polish my act, prepare myself for to turn over my business to the employees and other people that are responsible, and then delve into this next year full force into a campaign that I'm going to go door to door. I'm going to go mosque to mosque, church to church, synagogue to synagogue, talk my piece and tell them, listen, guys, this is the truth. We'll look around, turn your heads, open your eyes, because if not, what's going to happen is it's only getting worse. And as I watch the streets, it's only getting worse, Peter. Not only for me, for the senior citizens, shutting down the Y, shutting down certain things, always threatening us. They're shutting down our Social Security. You know that. How many times have they threatened us with our Social Security that it won't happen in 20 more years, or there won't be no more of this? And it's constantly scaring us, and they just don't care. And you're right. President Trump, He's the only one that stands there and actually cares, fights for jobs. 6 million jobs in 2 years when the other governments, the other presidents couldn't do it. This man is bringing back, he's not scared of China. And the economy is not faltering because we trust him. We know what he's doing and he delegates it correctly. He doesn't have to be micromanaging. And that's what I do in my business too. I don't micromanage. I do check up on the people. I give out the job. I train you well. He hires professionals. I train my people well. And my problem is so many people are falling under the radar, and we, the people, allow it to happen because we're scared. And like again, another day, you're standing on the corner there, and the cop just points, and if you don't do something, he can arrest you. A cop can actually ask you for ID, and you'll take it out when the law says no, I don't have to take an ID unless I'm on suspicion of doing something wrong. And he just makes up a law, and we just jump. And a lot of these cops do whatever they want. I'm not against police officers. I'm for police officers, but when they abuse their power, or when in jail, a guy Dykstra, a baseball guy, says he had false teeth because they beat him up in there. You can't just do whatever you want to another human being when he makes a mistake. People are entitled to chances. People are entitled to fail in their businesses. People are entitled to make a mistake at home and scream at their wives, and wives scream at them. But again, what we do is the first thing the police come, arrest, put them away, lock them up. First thing the building department does, vacate the home, give a violation. I promise you, yesterday I was at a job site, Peter. I want you to hear this. The guy bought a building 2 years ago. They did some work that was legal, but the inspector says it wasn't. He gave them a violation. So my owner spent almost $12,000 to file the plans and permits in time. He called the building department and everything matched. The guy says, well, I believe that the old owner continued to work on the stop work order. I want another $6,000 penalty. He says, that's not fair. I complied. You can't come and violate me after I've done everything good because you suspect. And you know what? He had to pay. Otherwise, the bank wouldn't give him his money. He wouldn't be able to open up his job. And this is what they do. These little nobodies have more power than anybody else. And we sit there shivering because they're in one of their moods. And they don't understand that.
You're absolutely right.
And a judge, when sometimes I hear a judge says, that's the law. No, judge. Your job is to interpret the law and to administrate the law properly. If the law is too stringent on this young boy or he did something wrong, stop. Back off. I watch a guy, a traffic judge somewhere in Minnesota, a very funny guy on Facebook, and he's a good judge. He says, I'm dismissing the case. I know you're a veteran. I know you're having a struggle. I know you're a single mom. I know you're homeless. And sometimes he's able to change the way the law should be interpreted. And that's what we're here for, to help one another. Why do you think people do volunteer work? Not because they have to, just because, why, the guy is poor, let him sit on the street? No, we're going to go out and help him and feed him. And Peter, I love your call, and I'm going to miss all of you.
Well, I'll catch you next season.
You got it, my brother. You got it. Like Rachel says, I'm going to be back, right? Rachel, the store is not going out of business. It's just doing a fire sale. Thank you, Peter.
Volunteer for your campaign.
You better. You
want to volunteer? We're going to send you an email.
No. We're going to, when I go back on the air, I will be running for sure. Thank you, Peter. Go ahead.
Shalom,
my brother. You see, Rachel, guys like Peter, you have to push the drop button. The guys like Peter are people that care, people that understand that there are other people out there that want to help one another. Okay. And I want to just tell you, Rachel, that like you go out and I've seen you do, you like when you were in Israel, those two girls that you made sure that you remember those two girls that came to our table.
Actually, I wanted to speak to you about this. And it's another thing that I know you would love. I hosted 2 Kumsitz Everywhere events in my backyard. I have a smallish apartment, but a very nice yard. First time we had 60 people show up, and the next time we had 80. And I'd like to give a shout out to Mo Melman and Emanuela. And it was actually started originally by a girl named Michal in honor of a relative that had passed away and loved bringing joy to other people. It's an event with kumsitzes and guitars. Anyone can come, anyone can play. For singles from the age of 20 to 50 who don't have a home, don't have a family, don't want to go out to clubs, don't want to be doing drugs or drinking, and he gives them a community to be part of, and it is really an unbelievable.
Where is this?
He runs them in a few different locations. Sometimes in the Flowery, Thank you for their location. Sometimes on Lafayette Street,
How
sometimes
do you,
in
how do
my
you find out
backyard.
where they are?
He has a Facebook page called Comes It's Everywhere. He has a WhatsApp group that you could join. And you should come and speak. We're going to all vote for you. There's a lot of people that are in your district that are there.
So
It's
right-
exactly doing what you're doing. It's
right.
giving people joy and friends.
See, that's what I like. That's the whole objective.
Isn't that
Giving
amazing?
people joy. And that is what life is all about. Because if you're not going to do that, Rachel, I don't know what you're going to answer to the Heavenly Father after the time is
Right?
gone.
Exactly.
You know,
We all have to answer. We come
religion-
into this world alone and we leave alone.
Right, but whatever religion you're part of, and these are little, just like with your children, you know, you fight with your
God
children.
willing. Thank you for the blessing.
I-
But
okay,
next year,
you know what?
you'll be holding my twins.
Some people fight with their children.
amen.
Amen. Some people fight with their children and throw them out. You know, I have so much love that when I fight with my children, it's because of the love I have for them. My love is so deep that it bothers me when they're doing something wrong. It bothers me that they're not listening to me, that they think they're smarter than me. You know, I'm not going. Of course, I'm going to punish them by fighting them or screaming at them or arguing with them, whatever the story is. But you must love. Not get angry and say get out or hate
I
them.
just want to know. You announced the other week that you fired Gabriel, your nephew, but apparently he's right there in your office. So I guess your firing isn't really firing. It's like fire, charge, 1,
Right,
2, 3, go,
right. So
and you're back in.
Gabriel,
It's almost like an arcade game.
right. I get everybody in my office always laughs. Heshy, you didn't fire me this week. It's not fair. I fire everybody once or twice.
I saw a really funny cartoon. It says one woman walks into her boss's office and she says, "Everyone in the office is suing you for sexual harassment. You haven't harassed me, so I'm going to sue you for discrimination."
So I want to go to another subject on. You know,
And we can't forget our sponsors.
no,
We
but
have to
I
read
read it.
them.
But I just want you to know, I was upstate about 2 weeks ago, and I was walking into the town of like Sheldrick, and I did see a SWAT sticker on the bus stop, and I showed it to my sister-in-law, my wife. I said, "Look, there are people who are bad all over, you know." But Mr. Heiken, our ex-assemblyman, he's flying to Germany and talking about hate crimes over there. We have to worry about hate in our own communities, hating one another, black on black crime, Jew on Jew crime, Jew on Jew hate. You know, the other day, a rabbi's house on Avenue N and East 17th Street or something like that was bombed on fire. Some guy went crazy. These are the things we should be watching out for, making sure that we take care of our people that are sick or mentally ill, or people that if they did something bad to a child, we should investigate that. But again, you're going out of our communities, out of our neighborhood just to make noise. Noise is not good. Peace is what we have to do. We have to make our neighbors one another friends. Mr. Heiken is so busy trying to get back into the game. Mr. Greenfeld is trying, you should see him. The man is in charge of the Met Council, and he's constantly tweeting. You should see these fake pictures. And again, I'm watching the tweets sometimes, and how you see these Cheskel Bennett guy and the guys from the community board all standing around. Finally, this week, the community board was standing with Con Edison, or fire department guy, on the street looking concerned about a block that shut down. But they haven't been around when the 20 other blocks are shut down, only when there's a picture opportunity for them. They don't actually set up a system that instead of shutting down 20 blocks at once, shut down one at a time. Have a
Correct.
system. But they shut down
Unbelievable.
20.
And they don't tell you they're shutting it
They
down. You
have
wake
to-
up in the morning and you just
The
have
other
to
day-
figure
right,
it out.
I was driving down the street the other day for an appointment, and my Waze told me where to get there. I get there, they just shut down the block, the next block, the fine block. It took me 20 minutes
I
to get
know.
around, and there's no control whatsoever. And again, no
I
permission.
mean, on the positive side, at least we're getting our roads fixed.
Are we getting the roads fixed?
A lot of them.
But
yes.
and how much is it costing us? Again, no oversight, no control. Nobody's watching these guys. They're just doing whatever they
No,
want.
I want to elect you for controller.
You're making a mistake. There's a budget that
I'm making
I
a
would like
mistake.
to
No,
be
I don't
involved
like you
with.
for anything
But
you
I
ran for.
want
No
my-
mistake.
I want to be involved with. Everybody should be involved with their own community. You should
That's
be
right.
involved with the youth centers.
So can
the
I do
drug
one more
centers.
shout out?
Well,
Actually,
no, because I'm going
Okay.
to finish. You have to be finished with. You have to look at your own centers. You have to look for aftercare program. I was talking to a Spanish guy the other day, and I said to him, "You live in our community. Do you see any after-hour programs? Do you see even your churches or synagogues have them? And if you do have something, it's costing you money, and even then, not. The government is not subsidizing it in certain neighborhoods. We have so many kids and children where mothers are running home. We don't care. We have so many kids that have mental illnesses and committing suicide, and we're not doing aftercare programs, drug rehab centers. And I keep preaching this. And you guys are sick of me saying it, but you know what? When one of our family members gets sick, or when somebody's in the hospital, you scream, "Why me?" Hey, Heshy was right all along. Why didn't we listen to him? Why didn't we get more programs? Why Why don't we have more outreach programs? Why don't we have more food centers? I'll tell you why. Because our politicians are too busy, like Mr. Greenfield in the Met Council, taking pictures and giving out fake boxes of food and really not caring and thanking some loser. I want to check my last tweet that this idiot said. He thanked, what did Mr. Greenfield thank? Here it is. You're going to love this one, Rachel. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. But you owe me 2 shout outs.
Okay, so shout out already.
All right, so I just want to say a very, very big shout out to Devorah Benjamin, who single-handedly started Karen Simchas Chasam Vekala. She ran a charity campaign yesterday where everything was doubled, but she still is in need of funds. She stood outside 770 with a bucket, and she said that she didn't have someone to make her wedding, and therefore she will make sure that no other bride or groom goes through what she went through.
You see?
And what she did is something really amazing. Heshy, this is totally your style. You'll be amazed. She decided that the people who used her were embarrassed, possibly, that if anyone saw her at the wedding, they would think that, she was the one collecting funds. So she became also a party planner. So you don't know if she's there because they're paying her and they're a wealthier or of better means, or if she's the one who's collecting the funds. And she makes each wedding on a very, very special level. She gets things donated for the ones who don't have, and she charges for her services for the ones who do have. And Devorah Benjamin has now become a staple at a wedding. If she's not there, it's just not the same wedding without her.
Well,
so she's there either. She's amazing. And if anyone has a chance to give her, she doesn't only help people that live in the immediate community of Crown Heights. She doesn't only help Lubavitchers. If someone comes to her with a problem and she does her research, if they really need her help, she will help them. She is really unbelievable. And she has someone by the name of Shmuley who helps her out. So go ahead.
I just
what do you want to say?
You see, that's something good. You see, when I become councilman, one of my, besides all my ideas on parking that I've told everybody about and garbage and pickups, I want to also create an association of business owners in my local community and teach other councilmen or other community leaders to do it and say, listen, guys, I want you to get together and create me a bunch of jobs that I can have people, that young kids that are coming out of school or men that are coming out of jail, to give them a second chance, give them a shot to get back on their feet. Let's create, besides the president and the community and the city, we ourselves in our own community take responsibility of people coming back home and helping them out, not just letting them stand on the street or committing a crime and going back. I mean, I actually had a guy who came over to me and said to me, listen, I have people that are going to help me. I said, that's not true. Because I had a guy now who came out of jail who promised me that everybody's going to help him. Nobody came through with money. Nobody helped him. And I'm not bragging that I helped him, but there's only so much you can do for somebody because you have your own family. Why isn't the community together helping? We do so much in the hospitals, so much for the people in food programs. We should look at...
you know what the difference between you and every other councilman, Heshy, is? They talk the talk, but you walk the walk.
I love you. I'm not a councilman yet, but that was what I want to do. I will walk the walk. And I want you people to understand.
I'm going to walk the city beat.
But it's not only me. I'm going to get people involved, from young people to old people. I'm going to create programs. I'm going to have the door open and say, listen, guys, come on down. Let's do something different. Not on Thursday night to walk around the streets and take pictures and say, oh, hi, it's election time. I'm going to be walking the streets constantly like I do now. I shop in my own stores. In my community, I walk around my own community. I visit the people. I hang out with my community people. I pray in different synagogues in my community. Our councilmen and senators, and you never see them. I actually see my assemblymen every Shabbos davening in the local stores, in the local shul, visiting the local stores. Mr. Eichenstein, this new guy, actually cares about legislation, cares about the people, wants to help the people. He was one of the only guys that voted no. By the way, Rachel, they voted for religious exclusion, whatever, that if somebody didn't want to vaccinate a child due to religious reasons, they're stopping that. Now, again, you cannot do that. If somebody has religious reasons,
Is there an actual religious reason not to vaccinate your child?
I'm not against vaccination. Don't get me wrong. I am for vaccination 100%. But you cannot force something on somebody else. Like somebody, again, everybody's screaming, Heshy, you're for abortion. I am against abortion 100%. But the problem is if somebody wants to have it, how am I have a right to stop them? You're telling me, well, now let's stop gay marriage. Now gay marriage is a law. You want me to do when they're getting gay marriages to walk in there and say, hey, stop it? You can't do that. This is a world created by God where everybody's free. We are equal and we are allowed to do whatever we want to do as long as we don't hurt somebody else. You know,
by not vaccinating, they're hurting the other people around them.
They're hurting other people. They're hurting their own children. I'm not saying they're wrong. We should educate them. We should teach them they're wrong. There's a reason why they don't know better. Maybe they're dumbbells. Maybe they're not smart. Somebody's talking into them. There are different campaigns that we can do, like don't drink.
Even
don't
legalizing
drive.
gay and lesbian marriages, I think, is harming other people because we all have different, instincts that are not necessarily the best that we have to harness. And I think by legalizing it, then that just teaches everyone, just do whatever in the world, whatever urges you have, just do it. That's not proper boundaries and limitations.
You might be right, but the point is, if somebody wants to be a gay, I mean, it might be wrong against the Bible and stuff.
It's not,
but it's not against our.
They claim that they were born with it, or boys are molested. But what about, you can't make it into a marriage? A woman cannot become a rabbi. She could become a rebbitzin, but you can't just turn yourself into something you're not. I'm not a caterpillar. Did you hear the story that happened in Central Park the other day? Do you know that the law, you're going to love this. This you'll love. You might use it one day as an excuse. No one's allowed to be in parks in Manhattan between the hour of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. because they're worried about all types of things that could go wrong in a park if someone's there alone. So the cops could actually arrest you. So they found one man there between 1 and 5 a.m. and they asked him what he's doing there. He said, I identify as a raccoon, and they didn't arrest him.
Are you crazy?
No, it's a true story. It was on the radio. Now I went into the landlord-tenant legal field over there, and they said to me, what gender were you born? I said female. What gender would you like to identify? I said proud female. That's not on there. It's either female, male, or like 11 other choices. But yeah, they should have like proud female and proud male. I'm making you smile. Everyone can see that.
But I want you to know, this is America, and we have a right to have freedom of choice to pick whatever we want to do.
We have freedom of religion. We don't have freedom of choice. I can't just choose to kill someone just because I want to.
Sexual orientation. Okay, it's not to kill. But again,
you can have whatever sexual orientation. You just can't make it into a marriage. I'm totally against it. I hope I don't have any hate letters outside my house. Thank God my landlord has it like set up in a way that no one could actually put letters in my house. So I'll come to him.
Okay, but again, Rachel, you cannot force people into doing things, and you
can't force, but you also don't enable. The government is now enabling.
For example, I drive a car. The government cannot force me to take passengers in my car, and that's what they're doing with landlords as well. I own a building, and you're telling me how much I can charge, where I can charge. No,
but they're not telling you who you could take as a tenant.
Sure, they're even telling you who you can take as a tenant.
Really?
Yeah, rent control and so on, and if you are prejudiced in any way, like if somebody comes with 6 children, you better have a reason why you're not taking it. Well, I can't take 6 children. I only have 3 bedrooms, so how can 8 people fit in there?
Oh, you could fit. I think I grew up 7 in a 3-bedroom.
I was renting a I promise you, I was renting a 3-bedroom apartment, and a family of 10 came to me, and I said to them, I'm willing to rent you the apartment. Just tell me, how can 10 people fit into 3 rooms? Take a phone call before we finish the show. Our last phone call. Let's say hello to whoever it is. Line 3. Hello, you're on there with Heshy and Rachel.
Good evening, Heshy. I can't believe it's the last show. I thought next week is the last show.
No, this week. Next week is July 4th, the weekend.
No, it's July. It's June 25th.
Oh, you're right.
That's right. We have to have one more show. That's it. Thank you. They're asking for an encore. If you're a good politician, you're going to have to give the people what they're asking for, Heshy.
Well, this is the week that they tell me goodbye.
I didn't get your name. What's your name, sir?
Maish from Brooklyn.
Hey, Maish, let's do it.
Also, you saw what happened in Borough Park with all the stupid construction. These guys cut a gas line.
Yeah.
Evacuate everything.
I saw that, and you saw that finally the community board comes running. That's the picture that I saw.
Right, they woke up finally.
But if they would have controlled that, it's not animalistic. Every single block shut down, controlled, have it normal. But again, it's wild, and then we just get in trouble, and then they come running.
I always ask this: now is from Pesach to now is prime time in Borough Park. People are shopping and everything. In July, the place is quiet. Why aren't you doing all that stuff in July and August?
I love you. Exactly.
No one to talk to.
You know, why can't you pick up the garbage in the middle of the night? You know, I was watching my garbage man the other day, and he wouldn't pick up boxes that were bigger than, I think, like 5 feet. I said, why? He says, we have to cut them down even smaller. I said, is it too heavy for you to throw in? You're a garbage man. No, that's the rule. I won't take big boxes. I swear I was standing there watching him that he wouldn't take a boxes that I tied up because it was too tall for him. They just do whatever they want to do. They come whenever they want. They back up traffic for hours when there are systems that if we use our brain, you know, if you ever see my garbage man who on personal, you know, the private garbage people, they do more pickups, move around town 10 times faster than the city because they know the system. But the city has to play the games like the cops. They can sit on their corner, but after you're beaten but they're busy giving tickets. But if somebody gets robbed or beaten or hurt, that's it.
Nobody home.
Maish, I just want to ask you one question. What would you like to see changed when Heshy is elected to city council?
Oh, God.
The sanitation going on 50th Street 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
And block up all the traffic there.
Right, you're looking at backup traffic like crazy all over town. That's one of the first things I'm going to attack is the traffic situation. When I become councilman, I'm going to attack.
You know what? Heshy's going to take no garbage from anybody.
And I want you to know, Moishi, I want you to know I'm against drugs no matter what. And I'm just telling everybody there's a drug dealing 43rd Street, another one on 18th Avenue, another one on Avenue N. We've got to shut them down. We've got to stand as a community and not let our children get hurt. Everybody, thank you for calling in. Thank you, Moishi. Have a great week. Have a great summer, everybody. It was a great season. Thank you, everybody, for everything, for listening, for all your calls, for all your support. Dimitri behind the window. Thank you for everything. Yes, Mom, Dad, Linda for coming on the show all the times. All my guests. Here's my music. Have a good bye. Enjoy.
Dun, 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 dun.